Can you really understand a platform without actually joining it? Before creating an account on eHarmony, I wanted to see what you can actually learn just by exploring the website and going through real user feedback. So that's exactly what I did. No sign up, just observation, just a first look at how eHarmony presents itself and what people are saying about their experience. So what is eHarmony? From the homepage, it's presented as a platform focused on compatibility and personality-based matching, rather than just quick interactions. The messaging is pretty consistent. It keeps emphasizing things like understanding who you are, what matters to you, and then connecting you with people who might align with that. There's also a strong focus on a compatibility quiz, which seems to be one of the core parts of how the platform works. Instead of just browsing endlessly, it looks like the idea is to narrow things down based on preferences, values, and communication style. Another thing I noticed is how much emphasis they put on going beyond just a profile picture. The website repeats ideas about personality, preferences, and how people present themselves. So this seems to be a core part of their messaging. They also mention compatibility scores and personality profiles, which appears to be part of how the platform is structured. But since this is all based on what's shown on the website, it's hard to say how that actually works in practice. From the outside, it looks like there's a certain structure behind how people are introduced to each other. But of course, what a platform says about itself is one thing. What actually matters more is how people experience it. So I went through a few user reviews to see what stood out. What stands out here is flexibility. Even early on, this person mentions being able to adjust filters and control the search radius, which suggests there's some level of customization. It also hints that interaction can start relatively quickly, even within the first week. This one focuses more on the overall feeling of using the platform. There's a mention of feeling safe, which seems to stand out in this experience. Of course, it's an individual impression, but it does give a bit of insight into how the platform might come across at first. This is also interesting. Someone coming back for a second time. Usually that says something about the overall experience being at least familiar or easy enough to return to. And the user specifically mentions that getting started feels simple. This lines up pretty closely with what the website itself is saying. There's clearly an emphasis on building a more detailed profile, which could help people understand each other a bit better before interacting. Again, that structured approach shows up here as well. This one brings up a mix of impressions. The user mentions that matches are based on values and interests, which seems to align with how the platform presents itself. There's also a note about location preferences, which sounds more like a personal detail rather than a major concern. Overall, it gives a bit more context on how the experience can vary depending on what someone is looking for. So can you understand eHarmony without signing up? Not completely, but you can definitely get a sense of how it's positioned and how people experience it early on. From what I've seen, the platform leans more towards structured, matching, personality-based suggestions and guided interactions, rather than something fast and unfiltered. And based on these reviews, people seem to notice things like ease of use, flexibility, and that more detailed profile approach, with a few small trade-offs depending on expectations. If you've tried eHarmony yourself, I'd actually be curious to hear how your experience compares.